Hello friends, welcome to another exciting coding adventure with me, Michael Tobechukwu. Today, we'll be diving again into the world of HTML and we'll be creating a simple movie information web page. Basically, it's a simple web page that talks about a new movie and persuades people to go watch the movie. In this project, we'll be learning some basic HTML tags, and it's a perfect, great project for you if you are just learning how to code with HTML. Without further ado, let's dive straight into the project for today. But before we begin, of course, I'd like to show you the finished work so you see what it looks like. So if you see the finished work here, okay, so this is the simple project that we'll be creating. So I'd like you to follow along, pay attention. If you make a mistake or if you don't get something, you can rewind, watch as many times as possible. Now, but before we begin creating, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to this channel right now. Do that right away. Like this video and also drop a comment. You can ask a question in the comments and I'll be available to answer you. Now, let's dive in. First things first, we'll create a folder in our computer. Then we'll now save the HTML file and the image we would need for our web page in that folder. So just go to the desktop of your computer, right click, and you see new and click folder, and then you create a folder. Easy peasy. So as you can see, I've named my folder movie page. Now the next thing is to open Notepad. We'll be using Notepad as our code editor, okay? So I open Notepad, which will open up a blank page for me in Notepad. Now right here, I will save this file, this new Notepad file I just created, inside the folder I created on the desktop. So I'll do file, then you do save as, okay? File, save as. Then you make sure that you select that folder that you have created. So first of all, I'll go to desktop and I'll look for movie page, which is the name of my folder. Double click to open movie page, and then now you name your file. So I'm going to name my file as movie.html. Take note of that, movie.html. You can name your page anything you want, but make sure that the extension is .html. So for example, you can call it mycoolmovie.html. You can call it interestingmovie.html. Again, make sure it is stored in that folder. So you check desktop and then the name of the folder, then you click save. With that, you have successfully saved your HTML page inside the folder. To check to be sure that you are correct, open the folder. Just double tap to open the folder, or you right click and click open. And when you open the movie page folder, you will see a file inside it now with a browser icon. But because I named my page movie.html, I can see movie right here. Alright, so with that, you have done that correctly. Now, come back to your page in HTML and let's start coding. So of course, the first thing we do is to do what we call your document declaration, okay? To the basic structure of the HTML document. Right here in the body, I will create the title tag, which is where the title of our page is going to be. I'm going to title this The Amazing ICT Movie. Alright, so that is the name of our movie, the title of the page, right, which is the name of our movie. Then of course, we now go into the body and begin to create our web page. Now, take note, the content on your web page or on your website must be nested inside this body tag for it to show on the page, okay? Alright, now here the first thing, if you check the finished work, which I opened for you earlier, you see the first thing is what? Is a heading and then some paragraph text, okay? We'll do this through very quickly. So first one is H1. We'll use the H1 tag for that. So I'm going to call the movie, of course, The Amazing ICT Movie. Alright, then for that description, we're going to use a P tag, which is short for paragraph. So I'll now describe the movie right away here. There you go. There you have my description of the movie. The Amazing ICT Movie is an interesting movie and all of that. So I'm going to save this. Just do Ctrl S on your keyboard, or you click File and Save, okay? Then now go back to your folder, your movie page folder, double tap on this movie file. Then it's open in your browser. So just double tap on it. So there you go. So you have the heading and then you have the description. Alright, that's done. Now let's move on. The next thing you have here is another heading, and then you now have a list of items. This type of list is called an unordered list. So it is a list that uses bullet points, as you can see. When we go on later in the project, you see another list that uses what? Numbers. And this is called ordered list. So we have unordered, and then you have ordered. And then in between, you have another heading. So I'm going to create this heading and then this list right away. Let's dive in. So for the heading, I'll be using the H2 this time around. So it's smaller than the H1, okay? So H1 is the largest of the headings, while H2 is the second largest, and it continues all that way up to H6. So what is the heading of this? So I said this movie is starring, okay? That means those who are featured in the movie. Then to create your unordered list, you use UL tag, okay? So UL stands for unordered list. Then you now have a pair of LI tags. To create the items in the list, you now need a pair of opening and closing tags of LI. So LI stands for list item, okay? So what I have done now is I am creating the So LI stands for list item. So each item on my list must have a pair of these. So I'm just going to put some names in between the pairs. So I'm going to type the names of those who featured in the movie. There you go. So I'm going to save, go back to my web page, my web browser, and refresh. So see that I have the heading H2 and I have my list. So you can see to create a list, ensure that you have UL opening tag, UL closing tag at the bottom. Each item must have its own pair of LI tags, as you can see here. Now let's move on to the next part. The next part is to create this heading and then this list right here. So let's do that very quickly. So this time around I'll use H3, use a H3 tag, and then create the opening and the closing tag of OL. Then I'll include the contents of this H3. So there you go. Then just like in the earlier list that we did, every item here will have a pair of its own what? LI tags. So as you can see, each item in this list has a pair of what? LI tags, the opening and the closing, and then there's the opening tag of OL and the closing tag of OL. So now let's see what this looks like. So make sure you save and then go back to your browser, refresh. So there you go. As you can see, this is H1 is the largest, followed by this H2 second largest, then H3 the third largest, and then you have your other list right here. So with that, we've built our page all the way up to here. So as you can see, the next thing here is the image, then another text, then the button. Now next thing to do, download an image that you can use. So in your browser, go to kiddle.co, you visit kiddle.co and search for an image that is related to the page you have created or to the movie you have created. So for me, I'm going to get a computer. So when I go to Kiddle, I go to images, then I can download any one I like here. So I'm going to pick this first one. So once you click on it, you see it appears larger here. So now what you have to make sure here is to make sure you save this image inside that folder we created earlier. So how do we do that? Right click, save image as, right click, I'm taking that again, save image as. Then you go to desktop and then open that your folder. Don't forget the folder is saved on the desktop. So desktop, then you look for your folder titled what? Movie page. So come here to where you have file name, erase what you have there, and just use a simple name. So I'm just going to use computer for mine. So with that, I have saved it in the folder. To check to sure you're correct, go to your folder, open it, and this time around you see two files, the movie.html and the image you just downloaded. That means you have saved it correctly. Now let's add it to our web page, because as of now, if I go back to the web page, there is no what? Image. So let's add that now. So the code is actually very simple. After the closing tag of this OL, then you move on to put this img src equals to double quotation marks and then this. So img is short for image, then src is short for source. Okay. Then in between these quotation marks, then we need to include the name of the file. Since it's the picture we're adding, what is the name of the file? Computer. So I'll type computer in that space. But that's not all. I also need to include the file extension. What type of file is it? So if you look at this image, computer, under where you have type, it says what? PNG file. Now you can also right click on the image, and then you click on properties. You see properties right here. So when the properties open up, you see where you have computer, which is the name of the file. Then under where you have type of file, you see it says PNG file. Then in the bracket is what? .png. So take note of that .png, because that is what you will type in front of the image. So I'm just going to copy it from here, then come back to my web page and paste it in front. So the name of the file is what? Computer. And the file type is what? PNG. So I'll just put computer.png. That's all. So save, come back to your page and refresh. Voila, the image is added. Okay, it's as simple as that. First thing, ensure the image is saved in the folder like this. Then take note of the file name, which is here, the file name and the file type. So for yours, it might be .jpg or .jpeg. Whichever it is, that's what you use here in your code. All right. Now the next thing, as you can see here, is what? Another text and then the button. Let's do that very quickly. So we have another text. This time around, I'll use H4, which is of course smaller than the other ones. So I'm going to say, so what are you waiting for? So what are you waiting for? Go watch the movie now. And then next one is the button. The button tag is just a simple button text. The button is button. So now what's the text? Look at the text in between it. The text of the button is what? Watch now. So I'm just going to say, watch this movie now. So save and let's refresh. So see that? We have the text and we have the what? Button that says watch this movie now. So with that, we've been able to create the content of the web page. But as you can see in this finished work I'm showing you, there's a bit of background color, right? So let's add that. To add background color to the page, you come to the opening tag of the body, then you add this attribute called style equals to double quotation marks, and you now type background color. Now take note and be sure that the color is spelled this way, which is the American English version. Okay, then you now add the color you want. So I can try out yellow. So save, come to your page and refresh. So you see that's the background color added. I can try a different color. I can say maybe gray. Let's try gray. So refresh. So you see that's what gray looks like. So I can even try light blue if I want. Light blue without space. Come to your page, refresh. There you go.